you are getting something which is naturally grown. You're getting something straight from the farm. So it is very important to know the content of your fruit. Pure in shape, size is totally secondary. So that is one challenge that what Indian farming industry still faces, standardization. We're just trying to tell them to focus on products which are good for Indian soil, which are good for the weather that they're growing in.
To Entrepreneurship Simplified, and this show is going to introduce you to those brilliant ideas and the biggest entrepreneurs who will help you to decode the entrepreneurship to its roots, the real life situations, challenges, failures and successes, so that you don't need to repeat the same mistakes. Rather focus on your growth to realize your dream of becoming an entrepreneur much faster. And this show is being done in association with Young Indians. Young Indians is a movement for Indian youth to converge, lead, co-create and influence India's future. YI is playing a proactive role in India's development process. If you want to take part of India's growth and be successful, YI is a place to be. Bear in mind, this show has no script. Everything you hear on the show is heart to heart, the real life experiences. And today's guest is a woman entrepreneur with great passion towards farming and food. She co-founded a startup, Bombay Farming Company, to address the challenges brought up by COVID. In fact, she actually kind of had another plan of cafe where she actually, had to adapt completely due to COVID, the challenges brought by the COVID. So she did not give up. She rather adapted her plans and she started with a vision to get a fresh produce of vegetables from directly farmers to your table within 72 hours. Yes, it is true. She is part of such an exciting startup. Let's welcome Rashi Biyani, co-founder of Bombay Farming Company. Hi Rashi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Rajesh?
I'm doing fantastic. I want to say a big thank you to be part of this show, Rashi.
Thank you for having me here.
Rashi, how come you got the idea of actually, getting this fresh produce within 72 hours? And that too, we are talking about pretty much organic, right?
Yeah, 100% organic.
So what kind of idea has brought in and where did you start actually its whole idea?
So basically, as we know how the customer trends are moving nowadays, people are wanting organic stuff. People are more aware about what they're eating nowadays. They want to know where it's coming, how is it growing and all. Although a very small percentage of our population, but yeah, especially the youth of today are moving to that direction, very conscious eating. So we thought, during lockdown, we also saw this, how people were trying different cuisines and everything at home, and they weren't getting enough supplies for that. But there were certain farmers who were growing such fresh exotic vegetables. Example that I would like to give you few would be like a Romanesco broccoli. All of us have heard broccoli, but a Romanesco broccoli is something most of us wouldn't have had. It's just like a different shape of florets, which looks really exciting on our dishes or salads that we put. So there are a lot of exotic vegetables like that, which we know it's grown in India, but we normally buy imported stuff, which comes through a long cold chain process, which follows everything. So we thought, let's get to the farmers, let's get them introduced to the customers, get these fancy exotic stuff. Yes, healthy because it's grown on your own soil. And the day it's harvested, we get it picked from the farmer that very day or the next morning and reaches to the customer table within 72 hours. So it's as fresh as possible. So that is how we came up with this whole idea. And we are here today trying our best to reach out to as many customers who are looking for such exotic produce. And this is not only about imported, like we've always heard about Thai pineapples, which are really famous. But most amazing pineapples are grown in northeast of our country. That is, the Manipur and that side. And they're like really delicious, probably at par or than the Thai pineapples. But still we see when we actually go to and take around, we see a lot of Thai pineapples are being imported in India. So we actually got those pineapples and they were made available to a lot of customers in Hyderabad and Bombay, and it was like a super hit. So yeah, so there are a lot of different products which are grown in India itself, but yeah, the availability is not across India. So we try to get different produce that are available in different states and try to get them to people, across India. So they at least have the taste of things that are growing in India than, importing them and having it. So yeah.
But generally, how much time, you imported item, how much time does it take from the farm to the table?
The imported, it probably sometimes when the consignment comes and it's not about the time, it's always preserved in a cold storage. So even an imported fruit could be in a APMC cold storage for probably 2 months, 3 months. And to a customer, they give you a shelf life of another a month. So it's harvested when, and it's been in the cold storage, temperature control, and then a lot of it when it comes to you, and if you don't maintain that temperature, the shelf life would be just like 3 days, 4 days. So it's not fresh. I mean, what's the point of eating a fruit which has gone through and has been in a fridge for so long? It's not fresh, it's not doing good. Yeah, a lot of us, so that is one challenge that what Indian farming industry still faces, standardization. And that is one of the key reasons why these imported fruits are doing really well in India. So when we see oranges, for example, today you will get from the same farm the orange which is really sweet, and the next lot will be sour, that you will have to completely dump those orange because there's no standardization in the farm. And there would be a size variation, there would be a color variation, how it is. But when it comes to imported fruits or vegetables, they're going to be of the same size, they're going to be of the same taste, they're going to be of the same quality, everything. So even when you're gifting somebody, you're not sure about the Indian quality, but you always prefer to put 2-3 imported ones because you know that everything's going to be fine in there. And that is one of the biggest challenge I think now Indian farming is facing. And that's why there's a lot of imports, especially in the gifting segment. Because there is, and even these restaurants and everything are using imported oranges for juice, because you never know, tomorrow they squeeze the juice out of 3 oranges and they might have to throw it. It's a cost to them, So
Yeah.
that is what the Indian farming needs to move on towards more standardization of products. So, things would be really great for India in the coming years. Yeah.
This is definitely a very important point, Rashi. But are you helping at this moment with the farmers that you're dealing with on standardization? Are you helping them to kind of see how they can standardize?
We are actually, there are very few farms who are doing this, and this is the challenge that we are facing. Because there are certain products that they grow which are not meant for Indian soils yet. So later that we have really told them that it's no point trying so hard, because every product grows very differently in different soils, because the characteristics of the soil is very different. So we're just trying to tell them to focus on products which are good for Indian soil, which are good for the weather that they're growing in. And because even there are times where we face this difficulty, that first lot we've got, our customers have really loved it. The second lot that we've got from the farm, where we've got pre-orders from the customer, and we were disappointed, because we couldn't meet the commitment of the customer of giving that same quality product. But at the same time, we had to hurt the pockets of our farmers. We didn't want to do that. So we had to somehow give them at least half compensation on the effort and material cost that they've, invested in getting this product. So that is what I'm saying. The biggest challenge for India is standardization. And unless and until that comes, it's going to be challenging, because customers don't understand that. Even we used to complain about every fruit that came home, oh, this is bad, this is sad. But we, now being a part of this whole thing, we really understand that what is going around where, even example, people say we want organic fruits and vegetables, but even if you get one little caterpillar in your fruit, and the customer has a list of complaints for you. But we also have to understand that there is no chemical sprayed on these fruits, and having insects around these kind of fruits is a very natural process. That means it is in a way with, there's no chemicals or pesticides we use, and that's why you see insects or caterpillars attracting these products more, because if it's if the chemicals and all are sprayed, there wouldn't be any traces of such insects or anything inside them. That's another challenge. You want organic, but you want it to be perfect shape, size, without chemical, without pesticide. Still, India is a little, behind all this. So yeah, farmers are trying their best to, reach out to, trying to use the best techniques and methods. But in the meanwhile, even the customers need to understand that with organic food comes all this, natural stuff. It's very natural to such things.
I'm seeing here one very important point you made. One is awareness for the consumer, saying that, hey, it's not about good looking, but it is actually good content inside is
Taste
going to come from
inside.
Taste is definitely good, but you can't expect the bright color look, be it tomato or any. Now, the second point I really wanted to understand, right? Does farmer really require to go for the standardization at all? Because we are talking about absolutely a natural phenomena, which is from soil to soil, right? Do they even really need to do the standardization at all? Rather, instead of, focusing on getting the awareness to the consumer?
Awareness with standardization, it is important currently, because sometimes it's again, that's what I want to tell you, that even the customer needs to be equally aware that if a custard apple is not 250 grams a piece, it's okay. If it's organic, the nutrient, the health aspect of it, even in a small custard apple, is much better than what you get in that 250 size. But no, customers complain. They said, no, this is such a small custard apple. We don't want this. Take it back. We want 100%, we want in 1 kg only 4 pieces. That is the requirement of the customer. And then they expect it to be organic. They expect it to be like a perfect shape, a perfect color without a single black dot. Why? Because international markets have made them see things like this way. Not even 1 piece can go wrong in a fruit if you're supplying it to at our doorstep. So these are a lot of challenges, and that is what I keep making my customers aware, that you are getting something which is naturally grown. You're getting something straight from the farm. He is taking all measures to make sure there are no chemicals, pesticides used. So it is very important to know the content of your fruit. Appearance, shape, size is totally secondary. But we are today, social media, looking around, imported stuff, we are so, overwhelmed by such things. We want everything perfect. And with natural produce, it doesn't happen that way. Sometimes your cucumber can be small. Sometimes it can be big. It shouldn't be. And because of this, there's so much wastage in our country. So much wastage of fruit, because people would reject. They would reject a custard apple if it's not in a particular size, because their customers don't accept. They would reject probably grapes because it's not as round and green as how they expect it to be. So most of it goes in exports. This time we did get a lot of export quality material, because obviously the export was quite less this time because of COVID and stuff like that. But people need to be aware that all this is beyond your nutrition value and behind your chemical free stuff. You need to understand that and respect that more, value that more than how my grape is looking today, how tempting it is on my fruit plate when I need to click a picture and send it to my Instagram story.
Yeah,
it does happen. Wow, how round my blueberry is today and how big my strawberry is today. Smaller strawberries taste better than the big ones, but people just demand big ones and say, oh, small strawberries don't look like Mahabaleshwar strawberries. Mahabaleshwar means big strawberries. So farms that give small strawberries, they either have to dump their strawberries or give it at half the price, because and how will big strawberries come? When you use chemical, when you use certain things which will make sure that your strawberry is big enough. But all these things, customer really has to understand. Just saying that I'm going organic doesn't mean that way. There are a lot of changes that you have to build in your habit also to, go. To move towards that direction.
I've seen something called a black carrot. I was thinking, oh my God, okay, black carrot. So, let alone all these looks aside. see how consciously you're putting the right content into the body. The moment, if they're able to prioritize between chemical dumping inside or irrespective of the looks, the right content is going inside, I think that is the awareness people should look for, isn't it?
And actually, to tell you about black carrots, before the orange carrots, there were black carrots grown in India. Orange carrot was much later, looking at the Western culture. Yeah. So people long back in Lucknow and Rajasthan, they never knew what an orange carrot was. They always had black carrots, which still has high nutritional value. You know that? Yeah. So there are a lot of things even we understand. Yeah. So there are a lot of things even we understood when we read about every vegetable. And now the people have stopped growing black carrots. Why? Because they say people don't demand. Yeah. So farmers, we've called farmers that why have you stopped your production? Because we've seen that you have been supplying through contacts to farmer network, that you were doing it for 2 years. Said, ma'am, I can't, something which is not making monetary sense for me, we can't grow that. That is so true. Even organic farmers are literally saying, ma'am, there is no demand. You guys want organic. People, first of all, India is such a price sensitive market. You want organic vegetables, but still you're compared to your next door sabzi wala. That he's giving capsicum in 15 rupees, you are charging me 25 rupees. Oh my God, 10 rupees we can't pay. You will go and buy, even that you want to change organic. But yeah, till there is a big chunk of people who've not moved from a normal to an organic, mindset. The organic produce is going to be a little expensive because that guy is taking extra caution to keep your food safe. And with that, there is and if we can't have like organic example, any organic vegetable, if we can't grow that one particular organic vegetable in a certain area of your farm because there is no demand, it is going to be expensive because it's not a mass produce. Yeah, so you can't compare yourself to any organic vegetable to any sabzi wala vegetable because that has been sprayed, used chemical, made look beautiful. And you are okay to buy that because that looks same as fresh as this to you.
I think you brought in a very important point, and you're kind of a torchbearer going ahead, changing the perception. I think the awareness has to come into this. But coming to your entrepreneurial aspect of your journey, right? I understood you started this whole journey with to having a cafe, but COVID has impacted your plans. Would you like to share your entrepreneurial thinking, how you actually kind of had to stop and what kind of emotional journey you went through and, before adapting it to the new model?
Yeah, so basically we wanted to, we were into a cafe and a patisserie business for almost 4-5 years. And because of COVID, and we didn't know how COVID is going to turn out to be, what were the future of the food industry, which has picked up quite well after COVID. We didn't expect that to be, but anyways, we were into like desserts and dessert caterings for weddings and stuff like that. So we thought it's going to be like a year lag in business. And suddenly, as I told you, it's a COVID. And how we started, our first story started with avocados. How people were very skeptical of using Indian avocados because they said they taste bitter. Still, we have complaints. We don't know how to write them. Sometimes they just turn out so bad that we stop eating. And that's why they go to this New Zealand avocados, which I think out of 100, one piece might not, work out to how you want it to be. This is where I call it standardization. Those countries are so technically advanced that they made sure that the fruit doesn't turn out bad. They do everything like that. That kind of science and technique has not come in India as yet. Everybody tries their own thing and there is a big challenge. But yeah, this avocado is one thing that actually got us into this business. Because of COVID, we had amazing response. We were only selling avocados. We had a lot of complaints, like we had sleepless nights because there was a one wrong batch. And then we just thought, no ways, we can't stop here. We gave a complete replacement, and we still do give replacements for our fruits and vegetables. So if somebody doesn't like the quality or somebody is not okay with the taste or something, we give them instant replacement from the next batch, or we immediately give them a refund if they don't want a replacement. This is just to make people assure that we are trying our best. with. We are trying to maintain the best quality. And just in case if you're not sure about what it is and if you're not very happy, we don't want to keep your money back. We give you an instant refund. So just that quality assurance and that trust we want people to build in us, that we are trying our best to, we are hand picking stuff and giving it to you. One piece is, checked that it's not wrong somewhere. But at the end of the day, it's a natural product. A fruit is a fruit. You can't go inside and see what's happening. So what max we could do is just replace, because sometimes it can turn bad. It's natural because of weather, because of how you've stored it. Anything could be a reason.
What is entrepreneurship for you? I just want to hear from you before we really conclude this very interesting conversation.
Yeah. For me, entrepreneurship is something where you follow your instincts. It's not always, the decisions need not always be based on a research. Like a lot of people spend, what if this happens? What after this if this happens? No, it's not a good idea. But somewhere, if you just go into it, like how they say, and in entrepreneurship, don't run behind success, I think. Because people think, okay, it's been 6 months and I haven't been successful, then I think it's a bad idea. No, I think what's important is to make that significant change, that significant difference in people's life. Slowly, even they will understand.
One thing the young generation should definitely learn is, number one, to follow their instincts. Number two, as I understood from you, is give it enough time. Give it enough time to actually kind of mature from an idea to the real business, which is making money. So I want to say a big thanks to you, Rashi, for sharing all your insights and your personal experience with the journey of what you're going through. I only want to say a big thank you and all the best for your efforts and making the change in the farmer's life.
Thank you so much for listening to me.
All of you, if you have not yet subscribed, make sure to hit the subscriber button. And also, I'm going to see you with another amazing guest in the next week. But till then, I want to say, be inspired, keep inspiring others, and share this video with every single person out there, which it can make a difference, be it a farmer or another entrepreneur or a student. Till then, we would say thank you and bye-bye.